The time has finally come to do wildcard weekend. Before I jump into this week's games, I just want to announce that voting has officially opened for the 2015 GioKnows Awards. I just ask that you pause this video and take 1 minute to go over his website to vote for me for Best Production and Best Prognosticator. To do so, you must go to GioKnows.com and click on the Awards tab. It will make you sign in with your Google Plus account information, which happens to be your YouTube account information, and you just put my name for Best Production and Best Prognosticator and submit your vote. Every vote helps, and I really need your guys' help. Might I suggest Billy B, Matt the NFL Fanatic, Bridgewater's Finest, King Poetic, Andrew Warren, and the Mass Tweeter for the other 3 categories? The first game that the NFL has bestowed upon us is when the Chiefs travel into the Texans Dome to take on J.J. Watt. In this matchup, it would seem that the Chiefs will be the lock for moving on to next week. But not so fast, as the Texans offense showed some flicker of life last week after putting up 30 points on the Jaguars, while their defense only allowed 6 points. Granted, it was the Jaguars, but the Texans did look pretty good last week. In this matchup, I think the Chiefs continue their winning streak, but I do not think it will come easy for them. Let's take Kansas City by at least 4 points and take the over 40 points. I'm really liking the idea of Alex Smith leading his team down the field for a game-winning drive on a touchdown to Jeremy Maclin. The second game of the Saturday matchups looks to the AFC North when the struggling Bengals take on the Red Hot Steelers. We really have to ask ourselves this question: which Steelers team will show up? I'm really just throwing a coin in the air here, but I think the Bengals shock the world and upset the Steelers. I'm just going by a gut feeling here and taking the home team. I like the Bengals to win by a field goal, and let's take the over. It should be a high-scoring game with all the offensive weapons on both sides of the ball. The first Sunday game will go down in the record books as one of the coldest wildcard weekend games ever. I think I read online that this game's temperature at kickoff will be somewhere around 0 degrees to 3 degrees Fahrenheit. With that being said, I don't think either passing game will get going on offense, and I think the defenses are similar in the fact that they're both stout and can bend some but will not end up breaking. So this leads to the high caliber matchup of Adrian Peterson versus Marshawn Lynch. Based on this matchup, I'm taking the Vikings. It's very, very hard to pick against Wilson and the Seahawks since they've been red hot over the past few weeks, but this is another one of those feelings that everyone will lay a ton of money on Seattle and the Vikings will end up taking it home. Let's take Minnesota by 2 points and take the over. It's hard to take the over in this game, but special teams will make the difference in field position in this one, and I'm expecting at least 2 runbacks for touchdowns. The last game of wildcard weekend is when the fizzling Packers go into Washington to take on Captain Kirk. In all honesty, the Packers had the NFC North on lockdown until Minnesota snuck up and took it from them. With that being said, the Packers looked like garbage the past few weeks and it won't bode well for them this week. Let's take the Redskins by 6 and take the over. I'm really hoping Kirk Cousins can show the NFL fans what he is capable of doing during this matchup. Don't forget the important stuff. You cannot win prizes from my playoff and Super Bowl challenges unless you do the following. Follow me on Twitter, tweet me your favorite team and your YouTube username that you go by, and I will retweet you to confirm that I saw it. All prizes will be announced after the Super Bowl and sent to the winners of each week's challenge question. You must answer all the parts of the challenge question to win, as well as follow me on Twitter and tweet at me, etc. For this week's wildcard challenge, which teams will win out of the 4 matchups, including their point differentials. The point differentials are just by how many points will that team win by. So if you think the Redskins will win by 6, put Redskins minus 6. The second part of the question is which one wide receiver from all of the teams in this weekend's matchup will have the most yards. I don't want to know an exact number, I just want the name of the one receiver who will have the most receiving yards for this weekend over all of the games. Just one receiver. Who is it going to be? For the tiebreaker, give me the combined total offensive yards in the Kansas City at Houston matchup. If you end up winning a challenge but do not follow me and tweet at me on Twitter, then you will just win bragging rights with no prize. Thank you guys again, and be ready to buckle your seatbelts because the next 6 weeks are going to get crazy.